Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former fix-it attorney, seems to be changing his mind in terms of his loyalty to Donald Trump, and that's based on two pieces of information that we recently received. First, he had an interview with George Stephanopoulos of Good Morning America, and we will go to his comments in just a moment, but also in a later breaking story, it turned out that Cohen ended his joint defense agreement with Donald Trump, which could indicate, well, a lot of legal experts are saying does indicate that he's planning on cooperating with special counsel Robert Mueller and flipping on Donald Trump. So Cohen has ended his joint legal defense with the president, which experts say is a definitive sign that President Donald Trump's former personal attorney is about to flip, and also a joint defense agreement allowed their lawyers to share information and documents with each other. So that's a pretty big piece of information. Now, without further ado, let's hear what George Stephanopoulos has to say about his interview with Michael Cohen.
One of the big questions I asked him is, what will you do if prosecutors come to you and offer you leniency in return for information on President Trump? Now, he said he wanted to respect the process, didn't get into specifics, but he added this, and he added this with emphasis. My wife, my daughter, and my son have my first loyalty and always will. I put family and country first. Nothing there about loyalty to President Trump. You're facing the real prospect of having to choose between protecting your family and protecting President Trump. He says again, family is my first priority.
He also reportedly said, I will not be a punching bag as part of anyone's defense strategy. I am not a villain in any story and won't allow others to depict me in that way.
Okay, so there is an alternative theory here that I'm gonna get to in a second, but this is bad news for Donald Trump. And if Cohen does flip, it appears that he knows almost everything. And they got 4 million documents out of him. By the end of the week, they're gonna have to make a decision on which of them are attorney-client privilege and cannot be seen by prosecutors. It's a different team that is making that decision. And then whatever is not attorney-client privilege will be passed on to prosecutors, and then tick, 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 tick. Now, so he's clearly giving signs that he's going to cooperate. And in fact, CNN has reported that he told his friends, look, it depends. If the charges are really bad, then I'm going to cooperate. If they're light, I'll stick it out. I mean, how's that for incredibly clear?
Right. I have another little piece of information that I think is relevant. We've talked about this in the past, but just to remind you, the Wall Street Journal had reported that Cohen was growing frustrated with Trump, complaining to friends that the president hadn't footed any of his mounting legal bills. In recent months, Cohen has said the investigation is bankrupting him and claimed that the president owes him for his years of loyalty. But remember, when it comes to loyalty and Donald Trump, it doesn't go both ways. Trump expects the loyalty from you, but you can't expect the loyalty from him. He has turned on so many people, even while they were incredibly loyal to him. So, Michael Cohen, I mean, you sound like a sucker when you say things like that. Of course he's not loyal to you.
But Anna, he is a sucker.
Yeah.
And so he's one of these really sad sycophants who hung on to Donald Trump. And all these guys who are scam artists have people like this around them. And the biggest scam is committed on the people closest to them. So they think, oh, I'm in on the team. I'm with the big guy and we're scamming other people. No, he's also scamming you. So now come to find out he's not even paying for your legal bills. Wait till you get inside a prison. I mean, your legal bills bankrupting you is one thing, but when if you have to serve 28 years in prison, he ain't gonna come to help you. And by the way, you schmuck, how can he pay your legal bills? Could you imagine the president, oh, this guy is being brought up on charges of possibly doing corruption with me? Here, I'll pay his legal bills. He can't do that.
I mean,
like, he wouldn't do that anyway because he's Donald Trump. If he could do it, he wouldn't do it because he screws over everyone. But he, as president, of course he can't do that.
Remember what Roger Stone told a Russian who wanted to sell the Trump administration dirt on Hillary Clinton. He wanted $2 million from Trump in order to get that dirt on Hillary Clinton. And you know what Roger Stone said to him, allegedly? You don't know Donald Trump. he doesn't pay for anything.
Yeah, that's, by the way, it's because he doesn't have much money at all. You do not come out of 6 bankruptcies really, really wealthy. That's not how it works. That's why he had to borrow from the Russians, but that's a whole different story. So now, last 2 things here. Why is Michael Cohen so worried, and what's the alternative theory? So the alternative theory is that Cohen is saying all these things, and by the way, the interview was off camera, and that's why they didn't have video of it on Good Morning America. But that he's saying all these things as a very brazen attempt to get Trump to pay for his legal bills and pardon him, so that way he doesn't have to flip, right? Avenatti, the lawyer for Stormy Daniels, has that theory. It's entirely possible. He could be like, hey, over here, Trump, remember me? The guy who has all the evidence on you? I'm dying out here, right? And so that's possible. But the reason why none of that is gonna work is because they could bring him up on state charges. And Trump cannot pardon him on state charges. And so the New York State could say, all right, you've got 18 different state violations here, and you're going away for 28 years anyway. Then does this guy sound like a guy who's gonna remain loyal to Trump because it's a matter of principle? Oh, hell no. Tick, 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 tick. And one last thing, when asked if Cohen would flip on him, Trump said this, and almost no one noted it. He's like, no, Michael wouldn't do that. He's a good guy. A lot of people would, but not Michael.
Yeah.
Hold on. If you were innocent and somebody said, do you think, like if they said, will Anna flip on you? I'd be like, flip on me for what? We didn't do anything wrong, right? She can flip all day. He was like, no, he wouldn't do that. So you did do something, and he does have the evidence. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.